Okay, Chris, as I mentioned earlier, in our Facebook community group, the Xbox Live Facebook community group, Wellington Cabral went on there and he posted a question. And I'll just read his post here real quick. He said,
Do
"Hey
it.
folks, I'd like to ask your opinion regarding a hot topic in the gaming community. There's some rants about big gaming news portals giving bad reviews on mostly for Xbox games. Turns out that some fans started to question if reviewers in fact played the entire game, given the fact that they refused to provide gamertag info or leaving it as private. In your opinion, review writers should review writers open their gamertag IDs as a matter of proof that they've actually played the game, or is this not important?" So it has kind of brought up the topic: what's important in reviews? Because Chris and I, we've both been writing reviews for a while. Myself over at theworkprint.com. I've also written over at Enthusiast, and now I'm writing for We the Nerdy. So and Chris, I know you've been writing multiple places as well.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. No, I'm the same. Yeah, I actually responded to this on Facebook. So anybody
Right.
who read my response, I am going to regurgitate some of that
No,
because it
absolutely fine.
is still valid. But it's a great question, and it's to be honest, it's probably a question that's asked a lot more, or that should be asked a lot more often.
Mhm.
And so one of the things is we're going to start reviewing games.
Yes.
James and I. The first one that I want to review, which I've said for a while, is Chroma Squad, and I haven't beat it yet, which is why I haven't written the review yet. And this is kind of streamlines where we are in this question. In a nutshell, what I said is that I don't necessarily think that they need to share their gamer tag, even though I don't think that that would be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some circumstances around where that may not be accurate, and I'll explain that in a minute. But furthermore, I think that there should be some more transparency. And
Sure.
to be honest, if somebody's played a game for 6 hours and it's a 40-hour game, and they give me their review of that game, like, as long as they preface it by saying, look, I played 6 hours of it, this is where my perspective is coming from, take this knowing what you know, which is that I've only played 6 hours of it. Like, as long as that is up front, I feel like that is okay. I think the concern gets from when you have especially when it's like a larger publication and they try to push a review out without having having really done their due diligence. We are a little mom and pop shop.
Right.
I mean, we don't have sponsors on our website now.
You're the mom,
Maybe
I'm
one
the
day
pop, so
maybe,
it's...
yeah, maybe yeah, that's right. Maybe one day we will. Maybe we'll be able to build an audience and maybe actually make like a small go at it. But like, we're never going to be IGN. We're never going to be Polygon. So you guys got to understand that we do this for fun. I mean, we just talked about I'm celebrating my 15-year anniversary. I have 4 kids. Yeah. I have a full-time job. James, you have a bunch of stuff going on too.
I have my 10-year anniversary this year in a few months here. So yeah, I mean, just married life and work in general. Like, especially when you have jobs make you work overtime, it's like your free time is very small. You have a very little window.
It is. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to be able to, as we continue to grow, we want to be able to come and give you guys, and we do this a little bit on the show, but we want to be able to present what we would consider a review, and that may actually come to a point where we don't actually finish a game per se, depending on the type of game. And so I think, and what we were kind of talking about and what I mentioned in the Facebook group is that I think that kind of thing is okay as long as you say it up front. If you have like a little graph up front that's like, look, I played this on Xbox One, I was provided a copy with the developer, or I had to buy my own copy, I put 12 hours into it, I didn't finish the campaign, or I did finish it, whatever it is, but as long as like those details and we're not hiding those from you, I think that's okay. At least then when you read the review, you're not going to be misled thinking that somebody finished the review.
Right. Now,
finished the game.
I will say there's still people, and I do this occasionally, like if it's a game I'm not like super hyped about, but I'm just kind of interested to see how it does. Sometimes, I mean, I know a lot of people are guilty of this, and I don't do this all the time, but sometimes you'll be like, I wonder what score it got. You just scroll right to the bottom, you read the quick little review, and look at the number. And I know we're all guilty of that. I've done that before. Sure. Chris, I'm sure you have too. And I know some people say, don't need the number. Don't put the number on there. The words are important. Now, my opinion personally, I think the number, I think at least in my mind, just for statistics and things like that, you kind of need the number there to give it some kind of
Validity.
bar. You need a bar. I feel like you have to have a bar. Now, some people go crazy and do a 100-point scale, right? Me, I just say, 4 thumbs up out of 5, or like just something like, I don't need a major scale. Give me like a 5-point scale, just so that way I can say, okay, yes, this game was in fact slightly better than game B. Like, so I feel like review scores are important, but they aren't the whole thing. I do feel the words are important too, if that makes sense. So
no, I would
No,
absolutely echo that. No, I was just gonna say I would absolutely echo that. Like scores need to be there, but if you're actually considering a review, you should read it. Don't just go to the bottom and say, "Oh, they gave it a 4. Oh, I love this game." They're just absolutely wrong. I have no idea what this is. What people do to me on Twitter all the time now. Because I don't like the Switch, and so they instantly think that I'm the worst person in the world.
You're pretty
and
evil,
my opinion isn't valid, even though I wrote a 1,200-page article on why I did it. They don't bother to read that; they just want to throw stones. So, you do have to be careful. If you are gonna read a review and then